Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
John Miller back with you here at Oracle Park, where the Giants have defeated the Dodgers 6-4 in the rubber match of the series. We're going to review the game with some of the highlights here momentarily. Now let's go places with the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. As the Giants and Dodgers were facing off here on national television, the Padres got a walk-off win over the Houston Astros 4-3 to take that series. And the Padres have moved a half game ahead of Cincinnati for the second wild card spot in the National League. The Reds were beaten by Detroit 4-1 in Cincinnati. Some other games to point out. The Phillies beat Miami 4-3, and they remain a couple of games back of Atlanta. Atlanta won at Colorado 9-2, with Charlie Morton getting his 13th win of the year, beating a Colorado rookie. It looked like kind of a bullpen game for the Rockies in that one. So the Braves with a pounding of the Rockies, although the Rockies were able to split that four-game series with Atlanta at Coors Field, where Colorado plays extremely well. Also, the Milwaukee Brewers were trailing the Cardinals 5-1 in the ninth inning, got a run, had the bases loaded, and then won the game on a walk-off grand slam by Daniel Vogelbach, whom we just saw earlier this week at Oracle Park. So Vogelbach was the hero today, as the Brewers, having a great season, pad their lead over in the Central Division. They now have an 11-game lead over Cincinnati and 12.5 over the St. Louis Cardinals. And let's see, the Mets beat Washington 13-6. So the Mets have been winning a lot of games lately, and they are just 3.5 back in the National League East. It's Atlanta by 2 over the Phillies, 3.5 over the Mets. The Giants by 1 over the Dodgers with 25 games left on the schedule. That is the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. The Giants over the Dodgers 6-4. Time now for the Honda highlights. Wondering what makes Honda so special? Ask anyone who owns a Honda, and they'll tell you about the legendary dependability, the great gas mileage, and the incredible lease offers you can get right now at your NorCal Honda dealer. For more information, visit NorCalHondaDealers.com. Walker Buehler, who had never lost a game to the Giants, and he had hardly lost a game to anybody this year. He was 13-2 coming in with the best earned run average in the league, facing the Giants bullpen. Dominic Leone, though, came out and he was throwing flames in that first inning, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and retired the Dodgers in order on 13 pitches. And then Buehler took the mound. The second batter he faced this evening was Brandon Belt. Dodgers have the overshift on for the left-handed hitter. He swings and he belts one deep into right center field. Way back there, still going. Adios! Pelota! To the big part of the ballpark. A big fly for Belt. And the Giants have jumped ahead against Buehler. 1-0 in the first inning. Well, there was electricity pulsating through Oracle Park for this Giants and Dodgers matchup, and the Giants struck first. The Dodgers, though, came right back and got a run against the Giants' second pitcher of the day, Jose Alvarez. Turner singled, Seager walked, and then Smith hit a single. And just like that, the Dodgers had tied the game and had 2 men on with nobody out. Chris Taylor was coming up, and so Zach Littell was summoned from the bullpen. We were in the second inning with nobody out, and the Giants were already on their third pitcher of the game. And Littell threw a wild pitch, and suddenly there were runners at second and third. But he got Taylor on a pop-up to short. He struck out Cody Bellinger, and with 2 down, there was Walker Buehler. Again, Zach Littell into his stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck it out. A fastball right on the outside corner, belled high at 95 miles an hour. And what a performance by Zach Littell under duress.
Cannot do any better than that. He was brilliant.
Indeed. And so the Dodgers got just the one run, and that was something that came up more than one time for the Dodgers. They had chances to score more than they did. The Giants were back after Buehler, though, in their half of the second inning in a 1-1 game. Crawford led off the inning with a walk, bringing up Mike Yastrzemski. Now a swing, and there's a shot. Center field. Bellinger back. Still going back. It's over his head. It bounces up against the wall to the left of the 391 marker. Crawford goes to third, and into second base is Yastrzemski with a stand-up double. And the Sun got Bellinger. He had a hard time tracking that one. He broke back to his right and then spun back to his left and never did quite get to it. Indeed. So the double for Yaz, and Casale was next. He hit a ball into the air, but too shallow into center field for Crawford to test the great arm of Bellinger. One out, still second and third. And next up, Steven Duggar, just recalled from AAA Sacramento today. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a hard ground ball past first. Fair ball! Headed down into the right field corner. It goes right by the wall and into the corner. One run is scored. Here comes Yaz. He scores, and streaking into third with a triple. Steven Duggar. Welcome back to San Francisco, and he has an impact right now. A two-run triple, and has put the Giants back ahead.
Well, he's not a young hitter anymore. He's not going to let one strike take him out of an at-bat. He was looking for something middle in. He got it, spinned on it, and Muncy at first base had zero chance. That was a 91-mile-an-hour cutter.
So the Giants were right back ahead, and not waiting around, even though Littell had been so effective in the first half of the second inning, getting out of a tight spot. The Giants pinch hit for him. Darren Ruff came up, second inning of the game, as Gabe Kapler thought, well, maybe Buehler looks a little vulnerable right now, and let's try and add on. The pitch. Swing, line drive, base hit, center field. He went down and dug that low pitch out. The off-speed delivery, the slider, and he poked it into center. Duggar in to score, and what an at-bat that was by Darren Ruff to make it 4-1 Giants.
And that is an at-bat that really hurts Buehler because he had him in a 1-2 count. He was pitching for the strikeout. You get beat in a two-strike situation. I mean, there's one out, but he was a two-strike situation. I mean, that really hurts a pitcher.
So, Darren Ruff delivering, and that was his only moment in the sun in this game. He was the pinch hitter and got his man home. 4-1 Giants. In the third inning, the Giants back to their bullpen, and Jay Jackson came in. But Trey Turner led off with a single, and Max Muncy hit one at 110 miles an hour, a liner to right, but right to Yaz for a tough luck out. But then Betts drew a walk. Turner flied out to right center with Trey Turner going over to third base. And the Dodgers had a couple of men on, and the Giants once again went to their bullpen. With the left-handed hitting Seager coming up, it was Jose Quintana, the left-hander, who came into the game, but he walked Seager and then got Will Smith on a shallow fly ball to right field, and the Dodgers had left the bases loaded, and that would not be the only time that would happen in this game. So the Giants were still ahead, 4-1. The Dodgers had some great opportunities in both the second and third innings against the Giants relievers, and they were not satisfied. But then the Giants came back against Buehler for more. With one out, it was Lamont Wade who got them started.
Got a very firm changeup, 89-mile-an-hour change. 2-1, a swing and a drive out to left center field. Bellinger sprinting after it, and it's over his head. One hop on the warning track and up over the wall. Just to the left of 399, Lamont Wade Jr. went the other way with power. And it's an automatic double with one out.
His at-bats today against Buehler have been outstanding. Lined out to Muncy in the first inning to end the inning. But here he stays inside the ball and just flips his wrist right through and launches it in the opposite field gap. That's an impressive swing of the bat.
Indeed. And for Wade, the double, he was in scoring position. Next up, Brandon Crawford.
And he does take advantage of those rare mistakes. Crawford now rips one. Pass a leaping attempt to Muncy down the right field line. It's headed for the wall. Around third, Wade. He'll come in to score. And into second, Crawford with a double. It's 5-1 Giants.
Bueller's not fooling anybody.
Indeed. And again, vulnerable. And the Giants were hitting the ball hard. The lefties in the middle of that batting order. 2 straight doubles, Wade and Crawford. Yastrzemski, another lefty, came up. He had a liner, but right to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. But that brought up the right-handed batting, Curt Casale.
The pitch is lined into left field. Softly hit. It's going to fall. Base hit. Around third, Crawford. He's going to score. Curt Casale knocks in a run. 6-1 Giants.
That was huge.
Indeed. So the Giants, 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third against Walker Buehler. The worst game of the season, the most runs allowed in any start by Buehler. Buehler had gone less than 6 innings in his start, only one other time all year, and that was a 5-inning game. He had given up 5 runs in a game only one time very early on in the season against Cincinnati. But in this one, 3 innings, 6 runs, 7 hits allowed, rather shockingly. The Giants continued on with the bullpen. It was Quintana who got out of the jam in the third, and he ran the table in the 4th inning. And it was interesting. The Dodgers putting A.J. Pollock on the injured list today with a right hamstring strain, but they did not replace him with a hitter, but rather a pitcher, Mitch White. So they had only a 4-man bench, and that early in the game, manager Dave Roberts decided, and remember the score was only 4-1. I beg your pardon. It was 6-1. It was the 4th inning, but he let Buehler bat for himself with 2 down and nobody on. Buehler struck out end of the inning, and then Buehler was out of the game. He went to the bullpen for Brule, and the Giants were shut down by the Dodger bullpen from that inning forward. The Giants would never score again. But the Dodgers would have their opportunities. And Quintana, who was kind of rolling, he got the first 2 batters in the 5th inning. 2 down, nobody on, but Mookie Betts got a base hit. Then Justin Turner walked. And so, too, did the left-handed hitting Corey Seager. And suddenly, the bases were loaded, and Will Smith was the hitter, and the Giants went to Camilo Doval, certainly not in the kind of scenario that Gabe Kapler had hoped for to get the young Doval into a game, not with the bases loaded on national television and in a very big ball game. And Doval, it looked like the nerves were all over him. He threw a couple of pitches way off the corner to start the at-bat, but then he seemed to rally, finally got to 3-2, and put one right on the corner, 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and it was called ball 4 by Tony Randazzo, who just had a very small strike zone and was not and we're not just talking the corner, a pitch that was right there, not an inch off the corner, but right there, and it was called ball 4. Then Doval had to rally himself again. Now Chris Taylor was up as the possible tying run, a guy with a .379 batting average with the bases loaded, 4 career grand slams, and at all times trying to do maximum damage, including in this at-bat against Doval. Bases loaded, the 2-2 pitch. He struck it out swinging. He reared back at 98 miles an hour and blew it by him. The Dodgers get only 1 run out of it, and they have now had 1 hit in 7 at-bats with runners in scoring position for the day. And with the bases being left loaded, second time that had happened, and they had left 8 runners on base in the first 5 innings, which, when you consider that they would not even get another runner on base until the 9th inning. That was the lament for the Dodgers in this game. And Doval, having been under the baptism under fire in that 5th inning, went back out in the 6th inning, a whole new guy. And he retired the Dodgers in order, with including a strikeout. So a great day of showing what you can do under the brightest lights on the biggest stage for Camilo Doval, just brought back up from the minor leagues today. Then for the Giants, going into the late innings, that was the one plan that Gabe Kapler had been hoping for. He said he looked at the bullpen from the back running forward. If they could have a lead or a tight ball game, and he was good with all the guys he had set to go rested for the late innings. And it was Tony Watson for the seventh, 3 up, 3 down, Muncy, Betts, and Turner. And then Tyler Rogers, 3 up, 3 down in the 8th inning. And finally, Jake McGee with the score still 6-2 in the 9th inning. But Austin Barnes, pinch hitting for Cody Bellinger, reached on the throwing error by Chris Bryant, who made a great stab of a terrible hop, but then his throw pulled Belt off the bag at first. So the Dodgers had a base runner, and the 41-year-old on his way to the Hall of Fame, Albert Pujols, came up, and he got a pitch to hit. McGee with the high set throws. There's a smash. Deep left center field. This one is way back there, and it's gone. Over the 399 marker with plenty to spare. The 678th home run in the brilliant career of Albert Pujols. And just like that, an error and a homer. And with nobody out, the Dodgers have cut the Giants' lead in half. Second pinch hit home run of the year for the machine, Albert Pujols. And the Giants suddenly with just a 2-run lead. The Dodgers needed a base runner to send the possible tying run to the plate. And with one out, they got one. Max Muncy just kind of rolled one through the vacant shortstop hole. His only hit of this series. Muncy was 0 for 11 in the series until that base hit. And there was Mookie Betts as the possible tying run. And Mookie was called out on strikes, and he was hopping mad about it, literally, and with good reason. It was a bad call by Tony Randazzo, whose strike zone had been so tight all night long, and suddenly there was a pitch that looked a few inches off the inside and was called strike 3. So the Giants were the beneficiaries of that, but still, there was one more batter who came up as the possible tying run, the veteran with lots of power, Justin Turner. Giants 6, Dodgers 4, 9th inning. 2 down, a runner at first, and the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch from Jake McGee. Swing and a high fly ball along the right field line, slicing foul. Yastrzemski goes all the way over. He reaches up, he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. And the winds of Oracle Park, which tend to blow a ball like that back toward the field of play, may well have blown that one back into the glove of Mike Yastrzemski.
Well, it looks like the Dodgers are asking to have that looked at to see if it did scrape the netting on the sideline.
Here's the call, and he is out. And the game is officially over. The call is upheld, and the Giants beat the Dodgers in a game that they led by as many as 5 runs, and they led by 4 runs all the way until the 9th inning. And then the Dodgers with the old warhorse, one of the all-time greats of the game, Albert Pujols, showing that he can still help a team in the pennant races. He crushed a spectacular home run. Indeed, he did. But the Giants do hold on and beat L.A. 6-4. The hit of the game, we'll give that to Steven Duggar, the big triple that put the Giants on top to stay back in the 2nd inning. His first at-bat back from the minor leagues. The hit of the game is sponsored by Pig in a Pickle, home of the best barbecue in the Bay Area. Visit them at piginapickle.com or in Corte Madera today. And the player we give credit to for their stellar performance, and there are certainly many choices that would be apropos, but the guy who was given credit for the win by the official scorer, Zach Littell, is certainly near the top of that list. The Dodgers had just tied the game. They had runners at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the 2nd inning, and he did not allow so much as 1 run in that inning, retiring 3 in a row. And there were other big moments along the way. I suppose you could also point to Camilo Doval. Brandon Crawford also had an outstanding game. So there are several different players that we could give credit to for their stellar performance. And that is sponsored by Geico, a proud partner of Major League Baseball. Now, our last bit of business, the K Counter, sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's cars with a K. Donate your car today. Giants pitchers had 9 strikeouts, and Dodgers pitchers came up with 6 strikeouts, and rather amazingly, just one of them from Walker Buehler in his 3-inning stint. The Giants are heading for Denver, and the Colorado Rockies are not in anybody's pennant race yet. Their home record, rather amazingly, is one of the best in the game. The Giants, with their win today, are now 45-23 at home. The Dodgers are 46-23 at home. The Colorado Rockies, who are in a distant 4th place, 24 games behind, at home are 45-24. On the road, horrible. But at home, they play like a top pennant contender. And one of their top pitchers will go tomorrow, Kyle Freeland, against one of the Giants' top pitchers. The right-hander from Denver, Kevin Gausman. First pitch on the radio, 1:10 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. The pregame show will commence at 11:40 a.m. We hope you will join us then. Thanks to Darren Chan for putting this together, and our network coordinator, Rafael Corral. I'm John Miller for Dave Fleming, Mike Krukow, and Dwayne Kuiper. Thanking you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. The final score again tonight. The Giants take the series from the Dodgers, take the season series from the Dodgers, and have a 1-game lead with 25 to play in the National League West. The final, the Giants 6, the Dodgers 4.